In September of 2022, 6 of us drove from London, Ontario to Pukaswaska National Park, where we hiked the Lake Superior Coastal Trail. It took us 14 hours to drive from London to the national park, and an extra 2 hours for me to drive from Windsor to London. Our ages ranged from 52 to just under 70 years old, and I was the baby of the bunch. But that didn't mean it was easy to keep up with these old-timers. They really put me through the ringer. In the upper left was Rob, the engineer, followed by Art, the forester, myself, a prof. Lower left, Ted and Greg, both water scientists, and finally Kim, the anthropologist. So we're just setting up camp at the car camping site. And we meet our water taxi at 7 a.m. We woke up by 6 a.m. on day 1, packed in the dark, and got our stuff ready to take our water taxi at 7 a.m., leaving from the visitor center over to North Swallow Cove at the very tip of the Lake Superior Coastal Trail. Blessed by calm waters, the boat ride was only an hour in length, although it can take up to 3 hours if the waters are not cooperating. We are treated to a wonderful sunrise on their way to our put-in. Just arriving. North Swallow Cove. Our landing, they just dropped us off. We're gonna have breakfast because we haven't had breakfast this morning yet. And then start off on the trail. You don't have to take my pack, Ted. I'll grab it.
I was just moving it off mine.
But if you want to take it up the trail, you can. Are we ready to go up?
Alright, well, let's go. Got pack on, ready to start moving. So, 3:40, so we'll stop and then unlock up for now.
That first morning, we hiked about 10 kilometers from our put-in at North Swallow Harbor all the way to White Spruce Harbor, where we camped for the night. Just the first part of the trail past the sign. I think we're gonna go interior for a bit. We'll get around the back side of the mountains by the shoreline. This is nice walking. This is our first connection back to Lake Superior from North Swallow Cove. So we're about just shy of halfway at this point. And we're going to go for about another hour, take a lunch. Seems to be going pretty good though. What kind?
Ooh. Ah.
Guys beat me to the camp by it looks like a few minutes. So this is White Spruce Cove, and it'll be our first campsite for the night, night one. And that was just under 11K. Seemed like more, but that's how it goes. Just packing up on day 2, and we've got the topo from hell today. On day 2, we traveled 12.5 kilometers from White Spruce Harbor to Fisherman's Cove. Day 2 had much more interior walking and the largest elevation gain over the trip of 320 meters. We expected this to be one of our toughest days, and yet the trails were a lot easier than expected, and we finished our hike by about 1:30.
Another sign. Campsite.
Is that a campsite here? Could load up on some rocks for your rock tumbler. The White Gravel River, so it's going to be a lot of topo after we get across this. Should be getting close to the campsite. Just hitting Fisherman's Cove now. There's our campsite sign. Now, what a beach.
We camped at FC2, but FC1 might have been a slightly better campsite, both situated on beaches adjacent to one another. We enjoyed the early afternoon off, sat around camp, had a fire, and enjoyed the night. Just packing up camp. Day 3. Day 3 was our longest hike at over 16 kilometers. There was a lot of shoreline access. It rained all day, and the rocks proved incredibly slippery on the feet, leading to several falls.
We are leaving our campsite, Fisherman's Cove. Thunder, it's supposed to rain today, and we got a 16-kilometer hike to Marthon Cove. Still on Wazo Bay here. The last little bit of Wazo Bay, and then we're into the bush, hit a pond, and then it's Cave Harbor. So we're about halfway. It's 1 o'clock. So this was our long day. We're between the pond and Cave Harbor. And it's good walking for the last little bit. It's at Cave Harbor now. And from Cave Harbor, we gotta get the fish. And this is the last segment to Marthon Harbor. It should be about 2.5 kilometers, and that's where our campsite is. The rocks are really wet and slippery, so I'm just taking it really slow.
Having taken a pretty hard fall on my hip, I was walking a little unsteady at this point.
Yeah, okay.
At camp, Art set up a tarp that we huddled under. Another group set up a tent on the beach and huddled under it with a small fire. We retired early, exhausted from the long day and slippery rocks. Day 4 was about 14 kilometers. No longer raining, but still very wet, with the paths full of puddles to slosh through. Many of us agreed that this was one of the more difficult days, with highly diverse terrain throughout.
Day 4. Look like some blueberries in there.
Yeah, it does.
Day 4 again. Oh, hello, good morning. Got you on film. Nice stuff. On film, these little trails in the forest look kind of boring, but on your feet they're absolutely heaven. They're a welcome break to the cobbles.
The early fall rains from the previous day stimulated the black flies that were out in force. They weren't biting too hard, but they were annoying nonetheless. In this area, I suffered another hard fall, slipping from the rocks, fell vertical about 5 feet, and landed on a birch tree, my guardian angel for the day.
Up to the Swallow River suspension bridge. About half kilometer away from the turn in the trail where it starts heading up to Hook Falls. Just a little stream right here. And it's going to be a deep walk. Pretty stream. So we have a deep stream crossing here. Should be getting close to the Hook in the White River. Hook Falls. It feels a little wonky.
You're not walking on it for so long.
We're getting close to the suspension bridge on White River. But we're not doing the suspension bridge today. That'll be tomorrow. So we're last night at Chinawagimi Falls and we're camped out here. It's quite gorgeous. And it was a tough day. I think it was about supposed to be 12, but it felt like 13. A lot of technical terrain. This was just as tough as yesterday's 16K. And everyone's set up here. On our last night in the park, everyone was in great spirits at the campsite. We joked around by the campfire, drank the last of our whiskey, and went to bed thinking about walking out of the park tomorrow morning. Day 5 was about 8 kilometers. The first going was a little rough on topo, but after that it became very flat and we were out of the park by 12 p.m. The White River Swing Bridge, or Suspension Bridge. After Plater Harbor, we did get a final burst of elevation, about 50 meters rise, and then it became flat again. Yeah. About 1.8 kilometers away on a marsh boardwalk. Yeah. It looked like a hawk to me stretch. About a kilometer to go. Incredible amount of boardwalk in this section. Close. Just to the end of that bay. Finished up.
Overall, Pukawaska lived up to its reputation as one of Canada's great backpacking trails. It truly gave us a view of the good, the bad, and even the ugly of the North Shore of Lake Superior. As always, thanks for watching.